All right, we're live from SEC Fanfare, SEC Championship. Emily Grace McWhorter, Jim Dunaway. It's the Johnston RV Center Saturday preview. We're at SEC Fanfare, which if you've never been here, it's just a bunch of loud fans cheering on their team. Game day is just to our left right here. Reese has started the show with Herbie and Coach and McAfee and Coach and Desmond. I think I got everybody, right? Two coaches and a Desmond. Yeah. And a Kirk, and a Reese. It's going to be a fun day. Johnston RV Center. We're going to do a quick pregame show with you here. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator. Always online, johnstonrvcenter.com. And Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken.
That's right. We're in the green room here. They've got everything for us as we do interviews for all the legends. So that's where we are, our little staging area at Fanfare. The only thing they don't have for us is Champy's Chicken. It could surprise us later on and slide in here halfway through our pregame interviews.
Yeah.
Deep fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling's the guy. Go by and say hi to him and give him a go Dogs, or better yet, a pony up today.
There's a lot of pony up among the SEC folks. They're paying attention to this ACC championship game, hoping that SMU wins, and you don't have to worry about any of it. I think they feel like if Clemson wins, that there's some concern.
Yeah, well, as we've heard from different people all day yesterday, there's a lot of varying opinions on this because there's some confusion from the committee. Shocker, right? And so I'm intrigued. I think a lot of people have eyes on the ACC championship over the SEC championship. And when was the last time that happened?
Never.
I would tell you that I believe Clemson wins the football game. I think they beat them in the trenches today, and I've now moved my belief system to hoping that they beat them so badly that
there's no question.
The committee goes, boy, that looked really bad that a 3-loss ACC team just beat the brakes off of SMU because they're so much more physical in the trenches than them, and that team will not hold up in a playoff game. We'll throw them out there in a playoff game, and it'll be a 40 spot, 40-point beatdown on national TV, much like we saw with Alabama Notre Dame in 2012. So I'm of the belief now that SMU can't win this game, and that Clemson will run them out of the stadium. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. So your confidence in SMU is so low that you've got more confidence in Clemson winning the game. So you're just hoping it's a blowout win.
I don't know, for our viewers, how many of you have gone back and just watched SMU tape. I had a chance last night to go to the room a little earlier than most, and I went there and I pulled up a couple of old games just to watch.
We're watching film.
I know, we call it watching film. But I pulled it up on my ESPN Plus, and I'm sitting there trying to go to sleep, and I saw what better way to go to sleep than watching SMU's week schedule.
That's right, there you go.
So I'm watching some of their games. I went back to the first one, Nevada. They had the wrong quarterback in there. They got a lot better with Jennings, but even late in the year, if you go watch that Duke game, they were not able to control the trenches against Duke. And that's where I think Clemson's path to victory is today. And I actually hope now that it's not a classic ACC game, and then because I believe SMU gets in if they either way, unless it's an embarrassing beatdown.
Interesting. Well, that's the ACC championship where SMU is the favorite, in spite of what Dunaway is saying right here. You're talking like SMU's a 10-point dog. They're actually the favorite in this game.
And I'm talking it needs to be
no
20,
doubt.
21,
No doubt.
27 points,
Yeah.
Dabo kneeling at the end. That's the only path I think that if SMU, that's the only path I think SMU's not in the playoffs.
South Carolina fans do not like you. But that's okay.
Well, I'm not here for the South Carolina fans.
It's-
I'm here for the Georgia fans, the Texas fans,
That's right.
the Alabama fans, and the Auburn fans right now.
Morgan,
We'll spread out our roots eventually.
Morgan, a Bama fan, says go Dogs for today only. He's anti-Texas. You get a lot of that around here. A lot of the non-Georgia SEC fans that are here want to see Georgia win this game.
I took a picture on social with a big old school Georgia fan who had a big hat with a dog with spikes and a Goldberg t-shirt on. You know, he's old school Georgia.
Works.
And I was coming down the escalator with him to get here to Fanfare. You don't have to go down 4 escalators.
Maybe 16.
To
Going
get
the wrong
here.
way.
So you're going down, and I look at this guy, and I'm like, listen, I'm an Alabama guy from the state of Alabama. Don't let them come in here and take our flag, our championship the first year.
What'd he say?
Don't let he goes, we're going to try.
We're going to try.
Oh, no, we're going to try.
SMU is a 2.5-point favorite this morning. MyBookie.ag code NextRound to get a 300% deposit bonus in the casino area when you use code NextRound. They're a 2.5-point favorite. Georgia and Texas. Texas is a 3-point favorite. We'll come back to that game. Let's talk about the Big 12 game because that's a win and in 11 o'clock ABC. Arizona State, a 1.5-point favorite over Iowa State. Winner in, loser out. That one is crystal clear. You don't have to worry about where rankings are.
It's so interesting. We talked about this yesterday, how each conference championship has such different implications. It is not that easy across the board like we just talked about with SMU and Clemson.
Yeah,
I agree. We saw it last night in the Boise State UNLV game. Win and you're in. And, you know, Army had a nice win to end their year. Not going to get them in. Jack State had a championship win last night. Great for
CKS.
That away, UT's finally learned
Big
it.
C, little O, little C, K.
No, Big C, little O, CKS. Yes.
So we just assume all the other letters are little after
Yeah.
the O. Big C, little O, CKS.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally
Yeah.
got it.
Got it. All the same.
Games.
All the
But to
same.
your point, Arizona State, Iowa State, like Boise State, UNLV last night, a lot of drama. It's a playoff game today for them.
Scott says, who gets the 4 seed if Clemson wins and the winner of Arizona State and Iowa State winner being ranked higher than Clemson right now? I think Clemson would jump them, yeah, so Clemson jumps them. Boise last night locked in a bye. So Clemson would get the 4 seed. Actually, do you think they would be higher than Boise?
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
The 3 seed?
They could get the 3 seed. I mean, if they ranked them higher than Boise, they would get the 3 seed. Boise would get the 4 seed.
I'm not going to leave out politics here to believe that there is a chance that both the Big 12 and the ACC champion would jump Boise.
Yeah.
Because Brett Yormark has been really out front saying, if we're comparing strength of schedules and everything, how can you have Boise get a bye over my league? He's the Big 12 commissioner. I would assume that the folks at the ACC would feel the same way, just on schedule strength. And we're going to talk about that with the SEC. Boise had the one good loss with Oregon. The rest of their schedule's been crap too. I'd have no problem, and I know the G5s don't want to hear this, I'd have no problem the 4 byes being the 4 power conferences. It is their party.
I don't hate that.
It is their party. So I would say in that scenario, I would go Clemson 3, and I'm going to slide the Arizona State, Iowa State winner in at 4.
On Facebook, Michael asked, is Bama in if Clemson wins?
No.
Not automatically. You're going to have to hold your breath
The
tomorrow.
only way Alabama is in smoothly is an SMU win.
That's right.
If SMU loses, I personally believe it needs to be a Clemson beatdown.
Yeah. Now, 11 o'clock tomorrow is the selection show.
It is 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 Eastern. Yeah.
And I don't know how they will stage it on the selection show. My gut tells me they'll unveil the top 4 seeds, the byes first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much a given. You know, Big Ten champion, SEC champion. Now, Boise will get the bye, and then they'll probably unveil who gets the bye between Arizona State and Clemson. If Clemson wins, if SMU wins, it's going to be SMU.
Yeah,
Then they'll unveil that.
I think they'll go the bottom of the ranking.
Yeah.
25 all the way up to you get to a certain point.
Yeah. Of course, if SMU wins, there's no drama. So they don't have to play the drama game. The only way I have to play the drama game is if Clemson wins. So I don't know how they would do it. Well, they would show Clemson as the bye, and then they would probably build up to the drama of who's in Bama or SMU.
Yep.
When they start flipping up matchups. All right, here's the 6-11 game. Is this going to be Alabama or is this going to be SMU? And then they'll debate it for 5 minutes with the dramatic music, and then boom, somebody flips up and it's SMU or Alabama. That's it. Yeah. I mean, you'll know everything tomorrow. 11 o'clock.
What are people going to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know what we talk about when this is over.
We got a week of non-game week, and then it's
Yeah.
game week really quick.
Yeah.
Christmas, we'll talk about Christmas a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it's the 3 games.
John says, I can tell you Oregon will not make it to the national championship game. Today in the Big Ten championship game, they're a 3.5-point favorite. He's predicting they don't make it to the national championship game, but they are favored to win today in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's a skinny line. I have zero faith in James Franklin in a big game.
Nor should you.
I mean, I feel like it can go either way. I kind of agree that we want to see Oregon go all the way.
Oh, nice thumbs up there. All right.
That may have been you.
Yeah.
Did you do it?
I don't know.
No, I don't know where that came from.
Sometimes we have a setting.
Yeah. I like it. James Franklin is historically awful in these situations, just historically awful. And I don't know how you could have any faith in him in this game. He's never earned the faith in this game. I do wonder, and I brought this up with Clint the other day, if maybe not having to focus on this game, it's a bit of a surprise they're in there. Like all these games he's lost against these high-ranked teams, they've had a couple of weeks in front of them, and it just kind of weighs on him. You wonder if almost the last-minute nature of getting in this game might help him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we talked about that too yesterday. With these games, the implications are a little different. How do you focus on a game? How do you kind of flush certain things? And I think that can work in your favor when you're historically not great in these games.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't have time to think.
I agree. It'll be fun to watch that one, but much like the one we have here in Atlanta, there's no drama. Both those teams are in. Both of the teams here are in. And it's taken a little of the edge off of this SEC championship. I'm sure they're experiencing the same thing in Indianapolis.
Yeah, get a ticket pretty low in Indianapolis. Hunter says our guy John Summerall had to leave the Weller and the Blantons on the shelf. I hate it for him, man. That was a tough finish. Such a good-looking team all season long, and then they get to the Thanksgiving night game against Memphis that could have kept them in the hunt here. And then it falls apart for them there, and then falls apart for them last night. Don't know what happened to our guy Summerall.
I don't. Well, first of all, you ran into two good teams.
Yeah, that hurt.
10-win-plus teams in Memphis and Army, but not a good ending there. You almost wonder if the moment got to be too big for them. And they were like, all right, man, if we win this Memphis game, we're in the conversation for the college football playoffs. And they didn't win the Memphis game. Nope. And then you go and play for a championship against a very disciplined Army team. Tough way to end the season. And now it'll be interesting to see with John Summerall. A couple of job openings that I think he would lead Tulane to North Carolina, they called.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina appears really interested in Belichick, which is kind of weird to me. I would take Summerall over Belichick. I know Belichick's resume, but also know Summerall's age.
Yeah, and the college game is a young man.
That's right, and the college game's a different game from the pro game, especially, well, it's getting closer to the pro game, the way it operates.
You just wonder if Belichick opens up a well of money to the program that Coach Summerall would have to fight for.
Yeah.
But I think it's Belichick and then John Summerall, maybe the next name in line for that North Carolina job.
Brandon is a Texas fan. He thinks Georgia will cover their 3.5-point dog. Their line dominated them. He doesn't trust Quinn. But Georgia has been susceptible to the run the last 2 weeks. UMass ran it on them and Georgia Tech ran it on them. And that's what Texas has been doing really well with.
Yeah, and I think too when it comes to Quinn, we talked to Roman Harper yesterday, and he said that he wants to see a calm, collected game from Quinn. So Texas can use Arch Manning, not because they have to, but because it's designed. But that kind of depends on Quinn's composure.
Yeah. 3 points right now. Texas is favored at MyBookie.ag. Code NextRound when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. Get a 300% deposit bonus in the casino area. Shorter show. We got fewer games to talk about, but don't forget Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator. Always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. Travel trailers as low as $145 a month. Fifth wheels, $45,000 or more in savings. RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on everything that is new and qualifying pre-owned at Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 indicator, johnstonrvcenter.com. Online, and Champy's world famous fried chicken.
Yeah, Taylor Korn, our social media director, posing our Champy's chicken question of the morning. Who believes Ashton Jeanty should win the Heisman? Had a great performance last night for Boise. I still go Travis Hunter.
He's the betting favorite. Odds-on betting favorite we saw yesterday, as high as minus 100,000 at MyBookie.ag. We thought it was 1 million. It may as well be. Yeah. I mean, those are as big a betting odds as you'll ever see.
I'm going to go Travis Hunter, and you guys know I love my group of 5, but I think when you look at what Travis Hunter has done, it's so impressive with the strength schedule that Colorado's had. It has to be helpful.
Yeah, but a nice stage for Jeanty last night, and they'll vote when they finish voting by Monday, right, for the Heisman.
Yeah, well, you'll know. Yeah, the voting will be in by Monday, and you'll know the finalists. Yeah,
so he'll be in New York.
He'll be 100% New York. Yeah. Yeah, from Boise State to be in New York, that's crazy.
Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, and then after that, man, it's pretty blah.
Yeah. All right, let's run through the games real quick before we wrap up. Just make a quick pick. Arizona State 1.5-point favorite over Iowa State in the Big 12.
I'm going Arizona State.
I'm going to go Iowa State.
I think I'll go Iowa State too. This feels like a Matt Campbell moment, but this is obviously a complete toss-up.
Save
the graphic.
Yeah, I'm going to go all all in the trenches there for Iowa State. Biggest receiver for Arizona State hurt. He's out. I think he caught 40% of their passes. I know this. No other Arizona State receiver has more than 17 catches this year.
Wow.
So it's all on Scatterbo. And I think Iowa State figures out a way to slow down Scatterbo. I take Iowa State in an upset.
Georgia, Texas, right here in Atlanta. We'll come back to that to make our final pick. Jim will put on the headgear. Clemson, SMU. SMU's a 2.5-point favorite. I think I know how you feel about this one. 7 o'clock ABC.
Yeah, I like Clemson to win the game, and now it's just about how much. I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'll take Clemson by 20.
20.
Clemson by 20.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be different. I'm going SMU.
SMU.
I would take that result too.
I think it always somehow works out for college football.
It does.
It just seems like most of the time it works out for college football. We think there's going to be this huge controversy. Everything just falls into place and the controversy is going. Not last year, but almost every other year. That's why I'm taking SMU.
Keep an eye on this. Remember, in basketball, officials, the referees travel around, and you have the guys who call the ACC games, also call the SEC games and the Big Ten games. And by the time we get to the NCAA tournament, these guys have called all the conferences. They're not conference specific. In football, these are conference specific officials. There are such a thing as an SEC officiating crew, an ACC officiating crew. There's $4 million per team on the line tonight with the ACC officials on the field. Does SMU get some calls that keeps the game close and Clemson wins, so they try to thread that needle in 2 ACC teams in?
Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting to think about.
Late flag that
look
takes
out.
a Clemson touchdown off the board, and Jimmy America will be throwing something at his television at a sports bar here in Atlanta, or my Sirius XM on the ride home, one of the two.
Oregon, 3.5-point favorite, Big Ten championship in Indianapolis. That is a 7 o'clock CBS game. Oregon, 3.5-point favorite over Penn State.
Oregon.
I go Oregon too. I just, no reason to trust James Franklin here.
Well, there's a reason why this line is small, is what Lance would say if he was here. And then he would say, Jim, you're an idiot for taking Oregon and giving the points, but I'm going to take Oregon and give the points. There's a case to be made, let me say this right, there's a case to be made that it is better not to be the 1 seed in the way this bracket is shaking out.
Well, the 5 seed is the best.
So if Oregon loses this game, they're the 5 seed because they're number 1 right now, and they wouldn't drop that far. So there's a case, not that Dan Lanny's going to throw the game.
No.
But there is a case to be made that Oregon, though they'd have to play an extra game, is in a better situation if they lose this game.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at getting the Arizona State-Iowa State winner on your home field, then playing Boise at a neutral site.
Rose Bowl.
Probably. Yeah, I would guess. No, Big Ten champion goes to the Rose Bowl.
No, that's right.
So it'd probably be Fiesta. You're the Fiesta Bowl. I think you would like that draw.
Yeah. And there are some coaches that, again, you can overthink everything. Some coaches believe that it could be better for your team, barring injury, to play 2 weeks, then play again in almost 2 weeks, play again in almost 2 weeks, and almost a week. That way you're not off a whole month. Yeah. If you need rest, if you need to get healthy, that whole month helps and makes a difference.
As we discuss this, I think one thing to watch tonight, and I don't know how obvious it will be, here or in Lucas Oil, but the number of empty seats in these championship games. I think you'll see a lot of them in Indianapolis. I don't know how many you'll see tonight because of the Georgia factor. Yeah. People in the chat room are saying Texas didn't even sell out their allotment to this game. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I've been to SEC championship games when it was Alabama, Florida, Alabama, Missouri, and Alabama just needed to win to keep the machine rolling. The other teams had no chance to make it into the BCS or the 14 playoff, and there were empty seats in the corner, massive sections of empty seats. And top 5 matchup, Texas and Georgia, great brands. It's not going to surprise me if the corners have empty seats.
So look at that. That's an issue moving forward. But let's talk.
I'm not sure you'll see it on television.
Yeah, I don't know how much they'll show it. That's what I'm saying. It takes like a punt, and whoa, there's some empty seats there. All right, let's talk about the game here then. Texas a 3-point favorite over Georgia. SEC championship game. Who you got?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Usually the guy puts on the headgear goes last.
I'll put on the headgear here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia in this one. I'm going to go back to as good as Texas's defensive line has played, their linebackers and their secondary, as Roman Harper said on our show this week, they are elite defensively at every level. I think it's Texas's offense and the turnovers from the Longhorns. I think they have a duplicate type situation they had in Austin. I think Texas is forced into some turnovers in front of a hostile crowd, however many Georgia fans are going to be in here. And I like Georgia 27, Texas 23.
I'm going with the Dogs. I've had the Dogs all day yesterday. And
that's a lifelong commitment. All day yesterday.
All day yesterday. I know that means something. But I do think Georgia takes this game. I do think that it's interesting how Texas is treating this as a road game. I think that plays a part in some of this. You mentioned the hostile road environment. Georgia fans will show up. We've no doubt about that. We're in Atlanta. And I also think even though Georgia's receivers, we know we're going to see some drops there, I don't think it'll be enough to make it work in Texas' favor with the amount of turnovers.
What's crazy is I think Texas has such an elite wide receiver core. They just never, it's like they have this great sports car and it's never in high gear. Like they have one guy that has a good game. It's never four guys that have a good game. So I do think Texas has the capability of beating anybody in the country, including Georgia today. But my gut tells me, for the old school SEC fan, 27-23 Georgia.
I saw this game in the regular season, and Georgia came in with a mat on, and they dominated. I think what EG said plays a factor in this game. Texas is treating this like a road game in a hostile environment. They're in that beautiful white Texas uniform where they've won 11 in a row. I don't think it's horns down. I think it's horns up. I don't love them, but they're up. Horns up. Texas wins this game, gets the 2 seed, unless Oregon pulls the upset and Texas the 1 seed, or Penn State pulls the upset and Texas the 1 seed. So I got Texas. I'm going one with Texas. All right, thank you to Johnston RV Center for bringing the show all year. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on everything that is new and qualifying pre-owned. They also love the military the way we do on this show. They make sure you got a great discount, whether you're active duty or a veteran. They're at Johnston RV Center. And also Champy's world famous fried chicken.
Right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com. Sterling's the best in the business. He makes sure every order is fantastic. It's cooked to order. You can go online, champyschicken.com, and then never get out of the car or truck. Just right into the to-go window, boom, you're on your way back to watch the big games.
We will be back with you post-game. Wherever you're watching this, you'll get some stuff post-game from all three of us at the Georgia Dome, just talking about at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that's old school. Talking about what we just saw with Georgia and Texas. Enjoy the games today. We'll be back with you post-game. Thanks for joining us on the Johnston RV Center Saturday preview.